When I was young, I played basketball, and my coach always told me, with offense, you win games, but with the defense, you win world championships. I think with League, it's the same. If you're a good player, you win games, but if you're a good team, you will win the world championship.
Well, only was that easy,
that was a pretty aggressive, you know.
If you're a good team, you win world championships. There you go. Today I learned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for Game 4 in this semi-final matchup between SK Gaming and Alliance. We just saw Alliance win Game 3, unbelievably, honestly, after they decimated SK Gaming at Baron, and now Alliance is 2-1 up.
They are, and they're 2-1 up because SK are making way more mistakes after 30 minutes. If you look at the 3 games, SK Gaming has been the better team up until the 30-minute mark in games 1 and 3. And even in game 2, which they ended up losing, they were still completely even with Alliance up until the 25-30-minute mark. And then they just started making mistakes. It feels like the late-game decision-making, the late-game experience, the late-game pressure may be getting to the players and the teams because they've made monumental errors multiple times.
Well, it's always been a game of inches over in the American football times, but that shockwave for Jesiz in the pit, that would have been up in 1 second time. He could have got a quadra, but instead he got killed. And that's how close this game is. Very much on the edge. Twisted Fate and the Rat banned out by SK Gaming, and Alliance still focusing Freddy, the main man. Put him off balance. He's the shot caller. He's the captain. Take him out of his game, and SK start to make some questionable decisions. Nidalee and Aatrox are the bans so far. Nami once again taken away from Nyph.
Kog'Maw, Kassadin.
Final choice.
Kog'Maw, Kassadin,
Yeah.
Orianna, Maokai, Alistar, Ari. There's a lot of champions available. Does Jesiz play Kassadin in this game? He's played it in the past. He's shown that he can. He has diversified his champion pool. Hell, we've seen top lane Kassadin, you know, building somewhat tanky.
Such a risk, though.
It is, but it is all or nothing.
Yes.
You lose this game now if you're SK, you go to that 3rd, 4th decider against Rocket. You win this game, you go to the final.
Whoa. Tristana
Mid.
and Kog'Maw. It's mid AP Kog'Maw.
Oh, or it could be mid AD Tristana to try punish Kassadin. Any AD champion up in that mid lane against Kassadin can really make his life difficult. We'll see how the cookie crumbles. There are multiple options for either of these two. And it's awesome. Alliance going big. They're doing something completely different in Game 4. If they win this match, they guarantee themselves a spot at Worlds. They guarantee themselves the showdown with Fnatic in the final on Sunday for the Summer Split title. And we'll see which AD carry will fall in which lane.
And more importantly, what the hell does CandyPanda now play? It's going to pull him in a bit of a bind. So, Maokai locked in, and Svenskeren gets on that Kha'Zix again. It's worked very well for him in the last few games. Kha'Zix has actually worked very well for everyone. When Shook gets on it, it's a pretty good champion. Braum being hovered over. That was something that nRated managed to get his hands on in game number 1.
Yes, game 1.
That's correct.
Yep.
I am in.
I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how this is going to work out. But the thing that Alliance need to be super careful of, whenever you run a double AD comp, whenever you run like an AD heavy composition, if you're going to go all AD, you cannot afford to fall behind. And you cannot afford to fall behind even less so against a Kassadin and a Kha'Zix. Because the moment you do, those are very squishy champions. And all of a sudden, the mobility and the assassination potential from both of them is incredibly high. And you've got resets once again on a champion on CandyPanda. Resets on Kha'Zix. If Alliance give up kills, things can get very hairy very quickly.
So, the cow versus the tree in the top lane, or possibly 2v1. Braum alongside who the hell knows. CandyPanda gets himself Jinx, which we'd forgot all about. Holy Phoenix sort of showed off how strong that can be the other day. And then nRated gets back on Morgana, which actually would be a great champion against the double AD comp.
The other question is then going to be, how well does Wickd perform on Alistar? His first game, it was first picked and left a lot to be desired.
This is where we all get confused and find out it's like jungle Kog'Maw.
Left a lot to be desired. I mean, it could be jungle cow.
Lee Sin, of course.
So, okay, Lee Sin for Shook. We need to just see how these swaps happen. let's briefly talk about SK's comp. They've got frontline, they've got pick potential. I think they will be looking once again to land the snare, land the zap, and then jump in with Maokai Kha'Zix Kassadin. Once again, very, very mobile. Someone gets out of position, they get shut down very heavily. I believe 20 seconds on the clock is the cutoff marker for where Froggen and Tabzz need to swap. And let's see if they're going to swap. If it is going to be the AP cog in the middle, if it is going to be Tristana, either one of them can do relatively well, but I feel like Tristana is going to be the smarter option. You can rocket jump away, you can bust a shot, cast it backwards. But again, 10 seconds left on the clock. Where's it going to be?
He's sticking with Tristana. They both took their hands off the mouse. That is what is happening. Everybody is set. So, Froggen on Tristana in the mid lane. I would say this is balls of steel play coming out of Alliance, because if Kassadin happens to get going, they are two very squishy targets he can jump on.
Exactly, that is the big, I mean, even Shook on Lee Sin, he's super squishy as well. It is 4.13, the shield has got a reduced effect as well. If Froggen gets the assistance of Shook, like he has in previous games, he already has a lane advantage against Kassadin. You add a Lee Sin into the effect as well, with his early game ganking power, against a Kha'Zix who, regardless of which jungler is running him, has had 0 early gaming presence. The advantage is very heavily in favor of Alliance. But the catch is they have to get a lead and have to maintain a lead. Because if they go even, I think the threat of Kassadin, Kha'Zix, Maokai against 2 AD carries, an AD carry with no escape as well, is very scary. I'm going to quickly double check Runes of Masteries. It is an AD Tristana middle.
So, let's see how it works out, ladies and gentlemen. Will this be the final game? SK Gaming starting out as the blue team. They are 2-1 down against Alliance on the red team, who run a double AD comp. I don't think I've cast the double AD comp since probably Season 1, honestly, when we used to see Ashe in that mid lane, pretty common.
That's a long time ago, man.
I'm old.
And the thing that's quite cool about this particular AD comp, you've got so much zone control from Braum. You've got a stun that works off auto attacks. Ooh. So now you've got 2 ADs that are going to stun targets together.
Ooh, CandyPanda's slowed.
Well, we'll see.
Is he?
Gonna get caught in just a second. Concussive blows will land.
Yes.
AD carries, are they in range?
Wickd can flash for it. Froggen mid-air tap binding. I'm pretty sure nRated didn't plan that one.
If auto attack.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
Very close.
Nope.
Very
Flash
close.
burn, though, by the AD carry. That's what counts. And that could be, well, Svenskeren, Shook, sorry, paying a visit early on to CandyPanda in that bottom lane.
Okay, so I just want to expand just on some of the strengths of this particular double AD comp. Zone control and CC from Braum, plus having 2 auto attack dependent long range AD carries, means Braum's passive will be activated frequently and quickly. You've got multiple knockbacks. Lee Sin can kick people away. Buster Shot from Tristana can kick people away. Alistair can kick people away. So that mobility engage we were talking about from SK can be mitigated if Alliance are grouped, communicating effectively, and not wasting their spells. In theory, there is time for protection. The question is, will it be enough? I don't know. I'm a believer. Don't shake your hand at me, man.
I'm shaking my hand about my cup of tea, to be honest. British casters, we have to keep it real as we cover these games. Wickd in the top lane up against Freddy. Let's see how this one works out. It's been 2-1 in favor of Freddy, despite the game being 2-1 in favor of Wickd.
Yep.
He had the advantage, I think it's safe to say, in Swain earlier on. This time around, though, Freddy on Maokai. Let's see what he can do against Alistair. And, well, you got to assume that Wickd will be going full AP. We've obviously heard, ooh, Dart Binding on Nyph there. He's going to land some damage on nRated, though. Tabzz doesn't care, doesn't help.
Yeah, doesn't want to get involved in that. I think, you know, if Wickd decides to go for Rod of Ages into Trinity Force again, you have to question the effectiveness. The Battle Cow of Trinity Force Static Shiv or Trinity Force Tank is probably the more impressive thing. But this is the difficulty Jesiz will be facing. Constant auto attacks, constant harass, and obviously the explosive shot damage over time from Froggen. It hasn't resulted in a CS lead yet, but I do feel I'd like to keep my eyes on this lane to see how well Froggen can contain Jesiz.
Wickd gets twisted advance onto. She takes a lot of damage, but doesn't trade back. He's waiting for Shook to join him. No wards from either top laner. Freddy actually just about to place a ward. Perfect timing. Did he get to see Shook?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
That's
it doesn't matter.
Wickd.
There's a pulverize, there's the headbutt. Freddy's going to have to go a long way from this one. Shook just biding his time, will flash away. Shook going to catch on towards him. Still a lot of damage on Freddy, but they don't get the kill.
Decent attempt by Wickd, but obviously the twisted advance from Freddy almost mitigates headbutt instantly. And then he just trades his flash. So flash for flash traded. Wickd has already used his teleport, so if he does decide to back and Freddy pushes the lane, Wickd could lose a little bit, but I think he should be fine actually. He's got a decent enough minion wave in that front lane. And in the bottom, there's Nyph going a little aggressive on CandyPanda.
Oh, Dark Bind in a game, but Nyph again with that Unbreakable, it causes problems. Can he get the stun onto CandyPanda? No, he's taking far too much back. Stun was about to tap out. Tabzz doesn't land it though. Look at this. Junglers peeking back and forward. Froggen pouncing onto Svenskeren, gets the explosive shot, gets himself a couple of attacks. Shockwave not going to land. Is he going to get the damage down? Flash was used by Shook on this one. Jesiz is going to come around, but it's effectively useless. But they don't have enough to catch on towards him. Shook flash wasted.
And Svenskeren flashed down as well. So both top laners, both junglers, not with their summoner spells. Froggen looking to play aggressively. This AD carry in the mid lane pick has not resulted in control in the opening levels. There is a 7 CS difference, but there's 4 juicy minions in front of Jesiz. He's still doing relatively okay, you know, all things considered. Does have the crystalline flask, does have those cookies, so he's keeping himself as sustained as he possibly can. But now is when Froggen needs to accelerate. Now is when Froggen needs to pull ahead and really make sure he delays that power spike of Cassidy.
Well, Froggen has been fairly inventive in this mid lane in the past, of course. Used to play Ilyas in there a long time ago, back in IPL 5. Pulled out a number of different innovations throughout the years. Of course, his main one just simply being the bird in that mid lane, pretty much, I think, safe to say the world's best in that position. We'll see how this Tristana works out. He has got grade A mechanics, so no doubt that he'll be working wonders. CandyPanda, again, Nyph really wants to get locked on towards him, but Black Shield is very much on point from nRated.
Yeah, Nyph's really trying to play aggressively, and it's just not working out. But the problem is CandyPanda and nRated are burning through their mana pool. So as long as Nyph and Tabzz keep themselves somewhat ahead of the mana resources, it should allow them to get ahead at some point. And just after that little speech about Froggen CS, he now has actually built up a 14 CS lead. So that's going to get extended further. Now it's starting to show. Jesiz is falling under the pressure, and here comes Shook in the bottom lane.
They're trying to catch on towards him, but again, Nyph not able to lock anything on. Black Shield doing its job. nRated stopping this one. Shook's going to get slowed down here, I feel. CandyPanda going to get some damage, not going to follow through. Jesiz, he had that teleport, of course, has gone back to base, got himself the Tear of the Goddess now, and he's trying to keep up, but Froggen is motoring ahead in terms of CS, of course. Because Jesiz left that lane, Froggen has no reason to, yet to use the single pot that he got early on, and Jesiz, he's going to have a hard time keeping this tower standing.
He really is. And, you know, when you've got a double AD comp, you've got these weird power spikes. You tend to, you know, struggle in the laning phase, and once you've got some items built up, and if you get to the super late game, you tend to have a massive amount of damage. The only risk is, of course, against assassins. If you do take too much damage too early on, you can't stand an auto attack, which is what you need a prolonged amount of time to do. But you've got the 2 best AD carries at this moment in time, in many people's opinion, locked in on the same squad. And we just need to see how their positioning plays out, because that's going to be so crucial to making this composition work.
Ironically, it's 2 mid laners playing AD carries as well. Obviously, Tabzz used to be his old position here.
Is it fair to still say that?
Fierce.
Because he's been playing AD carry for a year.
Fantastic Fierce. He still pulls it out now and again.
Yeah, but now he's on a team that's potentially going to the final if they win this
He's
game.
proved himself to be a top AD carry. There's no doubt about that one.
That I agree.
But this is the one thing. Shook is going to get everything from that jungle. He gets the blue buff. There's no need for it for Froggen. He doesn't care about it. Tabzz may actually get it when the game progresses, or even Wickd.
That's a very interesting question. I would actually wonder if it wouldn't be smarter on Tabzz just to throw out more living artilleries. You know, get that blue buff, just allow you to spam, more void oozers, again, more zone control. Second game running, we see Shook looking for opportunities, but Sven is finally going to show himself. And remember, there's 2 leaps on both of them, and of course there's a leap on Froggen as well. So that could be a very difficult fight for our spectators to keep track of once everyone starts playing hop, skip, and jump around.
Oh, CandyPanda this time is taking some good damage from Tabzz. That's going to force him away. Something we haven't actually considered is while Freddy will be that tanky front line, he will get shredded pretty quick by double AD.
I agree. And if he doesn't pick up like a Thornmail second item, or at least super quick, maybe 3rd item, he's not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe. Because not only is it double AD he's got to deal with, but Tabzz is also going to be shredding his armor and MR. And obviously got the percentage HP, so we'll see how that plays out. Anyways, the tree and the cow. This is the most exhilarating fight. D-Man, over to you.
Well, he's holding and biding time for Shook to get up here, and he flashes away. Quick early flash, ward in that river will give him vision, but despite the flash being used, it is actually Freddy that came out on top in that exchange. You can see Wicked's hit points.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation to read because
Wicked
Wicked...
used his ulti, yeah.
Yeah, Wicked didn't use his ulti, but he saved his flash. Freddy did burn his flash, but he comes out with better HP. And I think, in general, Freddy's probably going to have a higher level of sustain because it doesn't cost him mana. And, you know, Wicked constantly needs to spam out those triumphant roars, which allows Freddy to sustain because it's based off spellcast.
This is an all AD comp, it seems, because it looks like it's Trinity Force first for Wicked. So he's going to go the Trinity Force static Shiv route.
I'd like to think so. There is a fair amount of magic damage on the side of Wicked.
He's going to have to use his ulti now, and that's not going to give him enough time. 7 seconds, remember it lasts, and Freddy's twisted advance could be back off cooldown. Pulled headbutt just enough to force him away and saves the flash.
That was the last amount of mana that Wicked had available to him as well, so he's playing this one really, really close to.
Oh, the rocket's going for him. I think he may well teleport away. Is it? No, he's going to have to. Whoa! There's the flash. Now he had to use it, and that's going to buy time for Freddy to put damage on the tower.
The ping actually baited him into it almost. I think it would have missed him, but nevertheless, Super Mega Death Rocket not causing death, but it does get the summoner spell. So after those trades and talking about who came out where, it's Wicked that's also flashless, thanks to a strong play. So Nyph does have access to his ultimate, and he's used it on Candy.
Oh, he's catching out Candy, but he hasn't got the catch on towards him. Soul Shackles will go off. Nyph Unbreakable doing what it should. But now, CandyPanda, remember, no ultimate available for him, but he's going to get one more shot on towards CandyPanda. No, nRated flashes, and a heal comes out from Tabzz to save his support.
All 4 summoner spells down on the side of SK Gaming. Tabzz manages to save his flash, but a very good turnaround. CandyPanda and nRated get jumped on, and thanks to the defensive support of Morgana, is able to dissuade Tabzz and Nyph and prevent any kills.
Froggen going for the Infinity Edge early on, actually taking a fair bit of poke now. And it's dangerous actually for him in that mid lane now that Svenskeren and Jesiz can both leap towards him, so he's going to have to be really on his toes. He sticks around and continues to increase his farming capacity. Svenskeren's going to keep on pushing and keep on farming. Shook, meanwhile, maybe looking towards starting out this dragon.
So we'll see if the support comes with 2 AD carries. This is going to go down super quickly. And, you know, that CS continues to skyrocket in favor of Froggen. He's built himself up a very nice advantage in the middle lane. And with this dragon, it's actually going to give Alliance a small gold lead. But we need to see how they play these fights out. Wicked and Freddy once again going toe-to-toe, and Wicked forced to use his ulti.
Uses that ulti, and Svenskeren this time around will catch on towards him. Sapling will slow him down. Oh no, he just dodged out the side headbutt. It's Freddy away. Freddy will not continue to chase, but Wicked is losing this duel.
The thing is, even though he's losing the fight, they're actually still even on CS. So it is very aggressive, it is back and forth. Freddy's going low, Wicked's going low. But, you know, nobody's really stamping an authority on the lane. Wicked's definitely showing a stronger aptitude in this game with Alistair than he did in game 1. But it's his team fights and it's his timing on those unbreakable wills that I'm really going to be looking at as these teams start to group up. How well can he protect both Froggen and Tabzz?
Freddy teleports back. We already saw Wicked teleporting back, so they are both now down. Catalysts picked up by both Freddy and Jesiz. Of course, Jesiz is going to take a while to get his power spike going. We'll see whether Froggen can take advantage of that. He is burning through the farm. We are only, remember, what, 13 minutes in? He's already at 128 CS. We'll keep our eye on that one because with a mid lane AD carry, it's actually possible that he could go for a record. But he needs to start going for the rates if he wants to keep it up. Meanwhile, mid tower, that goes down. Jesiz can't keep that one at bay.
Now, this is a very strong thing that Alliance could be doing. If they try to rotate and force tower kills, two AD carries obviously means you can shred towers quickly. That can accelerate a gold lead and give you the ability to force fights in your favor because you have an advantage. We did see Wickd. We can say he won that fight. I think that's fair to say.
Absolutely. Only fair we give him credit. We've been giving Freddy a lot of credit throughout.
And something I also want to mention is like SK's comp also scales very, very well. Maokai with damage reduction, you know, eventually when he gets a Thornmail, Kha'Zix, Cassidy, and Jinx, they're all going to do very, very well as this game continues to go later and later and later. And it's going to come down to how effectively Alliance can deal with the mobility of SK, you know, how defensive can they play, and also how good is their positioning. Right, 2v2. Who's going to win this one? There's a teleport from Freddy.
Teleport coming in, and NYPH has been caught out. He's already used his Unbreakable. It looks like it will be First Blood this time around. It will be SK that takes it. CandyPanda picks himself up First Blood. Back in the top lane. Freddy, he's getting caught out. Manages to get the knockback on Alliance. And Wickd and Shook, will they go tower diving? Yes, they will. It's Wickd that will happily tank it down. Freddy's in trouble. Sapling touches down. The tower hit's coming through. Not enough to take him down. Bottom turret goes down. SK will get that one. And again, it's back and forth action, opening up very quickly.
Yeah, very, very even across the board between these two teams, getting to, the respective kills as well as the towers. So it's 1,000 gold difference. And with towers down, where do people move?
Where does Froggen go here? He's actually caught out of position. Buster shot is available to him. Rocket jumps away, will get slowed, has got flash available. Not too sure whether anyone else is going to follow. Puts a pink down because he was a little worried that someone would continue the chase. Yeah,
if Sven had gone invisible, you wouldn't have been able to Buster shot him away. So, smart play by Froggen. With the Infinity Edge completed, he is actually hitting pretty hard. And he didn't even burn a Summer Spell. Just very, very smart tactical play. Level advantage, nearly 40 CS lead. But it's such an interesting question. What is better in the late game? Two leaping in assassins with an execute that can follow up from Super Mega Death Rocket, or two AD carries that can just hammer away and melt whatever jumps into them.
It's basically protect them as well, because, you know, Wicked's going to be protecting, NYPH is full-on protection, Shook's kick's going to be protecting, everything is keeping Froggen and Tabzz alive.
And the other thing as well is, like, SK have to jump in all together. If they jump in one by one, they'll just get focused down. Right, another duel. Battle 17 between Freddy and Wickd. This time, advantage Freddy.
I don't know if Wickd can just hit top himself off.
I called it, I gave him the award. It's Battle 17. You can call Battle 18.
They're going to continue. He's going to eat a sapling, and that'll slow him down. Freddy will keep pushing, but he's got help again, and Shook will return to the top lane. Froggen's backing off. See if that static shift comes around. Freddy, he's the one who's going to go for headbutt, backing towards it. Shook comes around. Freddy this time in trouble. Not too sure if he's going to be able to get out of this one. Kick pulls in. Shook finishes him off. And that is kill number 2 for Alliance.
Yeah, very, very easy and well played, but Shook's backing off. Sven's going for the cow. He's going all in for the stake.
He hasn't got the burst. He's going to have this use his ultimate. Is he going to be able to take him down? No, he's not. Flash comes out. Shook comes in to save the day, and now Shook fancies this one. But Svenskeren's got a lot of damage down on towards him. Is he going to try and bait him in? Wickd, has he got the hit points to try and pull him away here? Shook's going to get pounced on. Oh, he's unseen threat. He's dead.
Here comes Jesiz.
Oh, he's going to try and get John! Easy, easy pickup. That's what Jesiz needs. That is exactly what he needs, and that's exactly what Alliance don't want to start happening.
Completely agree. And remember, when you're running away from a Kha'Zix, you're opting into the isolation damage eventually, as Svenskeren continues to get those spell casts down. So he manages to pick up the kill. A very good roam from Jesiz punishes them. And look at SK. With Jinx on the tower, she too can destroy towers once she gets in range of them. And what's really interesting is you've got like the 3 longest range AD carries in the game. Tristana obviously with levels, Kog'Maw with Bio-Arcane Barrage, and CandyPanda's Jinx once she gets max rank on the switcheroo for her rocket launcher. And the range game is going to be super interesting to watch, because whichever AD carry outpositions and is able to like plant themselves as an artillery platform is probably going to determine the outcome of these team fights.
Well, if Froggen makes his way up that river, he's absolutely out of position, that's for sure. Instead, he's going to stick around, pings it out. SK start, the Dragon and Alliance are kind of out of position here. Teleport not available for Wickd, so it seems that this one will be easily picked up by SK this time around.
And looking at the way the Dragon Pit played out, Alliance never really want to engage. Alliance don't really have a team comp where they can start a fight, you know? Battle 18, I believe this is you to determine who the victor is.
It's pretty clearly Freddy this time around. Didn't have the minion advantage, and with that Trinity Force complete is apparently not doing tons of damage.
And just to finish that point, because you've got double AD and because you're so reliant on defending, peeling, and protecting your AD carries, it does mean that you don't want to use those spells to try and initiate.
Well, again, ultimate used. His will seems to be breaking, though. Oh, Soul Shackle flash. And Froggen actually rocket jumps and flashes away. Jesiz gets the slow on them all. Now we see who this works out. Shook with the kick. It's not enough to get away. They're going to try and sidestep this one. nRated. Dark binding up in a moment. There's minions getting in the way. Shook may well try and turn it around. Here comes Nyph. Oh, Froggen caught out. He goes down. This is what we feared. This was what the danger is with a double AD. They can get chased down, especially by a Kassadin.
Flash burn, rocket jump burn, buster shot, dragon's rage, almost everything, and it was not used effectively. It allowed SK to run them down. So, turret falls in the top lane in favor of Alliance, turret falls in the mid lane in favor of SK. This is what I said a few moments ago with towers down. How does Alliance respond? Every time they've tried to move forward, they've been punished. They tried to gank top lane, gave up 2 kills. They tried to push tower bot lane, gave up a kill. And SK are once again pulling themselves into a lead.
Oh, Shook is running a risky adventure there, but blue buff given up, and SK take that. So, advantage starting to build their way. Jesiz actually stood on top of a pink ward. That's going to get cleared out and spotted in SK. Now they back off. CandyPanda gets himself 2 kills to the good. He will go back and buy Jesiz, sitting on flat-out static shift.
That's a pretty successful shopping trip, if ever you've seen one. And that's actually very important because of wave clear. On the side of SK, they don't have massive wave clear yet, because Svenskeren is still building up that attack damage. To be fair, he's actually got a good chunk. So those void spikes, as well as the auto attacks from CandyPanda's rockets, is really going to be what they're relying on. You don't want anything else. Sapling's obviously going to help out a small amount. But in contrast, Alliance actually don't have the greatest wave clear either. They're going to be relying on the Voidoos, as well as Tristana's explosive shot. So could be a very interesting siege situation back and forth if we ever get there.
They have pretty long range wave clear.
True, but it's the other thing is, like, when you have wave clear, you're generally talking about like extended sieges and how do those play out. Shook is looking for nRated. There's no support.
Oh, he's continuing to pressure nRated. He's putting a lot of damage on nRated, and he gets nRated. Jesiz now, he's focused on. Look at this, Froggen coming around the side. Svenskeren's getting close by. Shook taken low. Nyph is also here as well. He's going to try and block out the damage. He will get slowed, but he's backing away. Don't think nRated was quite expecting so much damage from Shook there.
No, not at all. Smart call actually from Alliance to back away after the kill. It was tempting. When Jesiz rift walk in, I wondered if they were going to look to try to stun him up. They could have got the brown passive on, but decided against it, and wisely so. SK was trying to surround them, and you don't want to give any potential resets. Wings are evolved for Sven. Get excited, obviously available to CandyPanda. And here's Sven just zoning Wickd away.
Yep, that's the top tower, and that's 3 now for SK. All outer turrets down. So how do we rate this so far? Because I don't think this is how Alliance foresee this going. Of course, they have double AD, which means they need to get farm. They need to delay for a while to get their power spike on. They do have a Infinity Jet Static Shift, Tristana, and a Trinity Force Vampiric Scepter Cogmore. But Jesiz now, with the Rod of Ages complete, with the tier stacking up, with the Source Boots on, is becoming a pretty big threat.
So Alliance already 2k, 1,000 gold down rather. They a tower down, and they don't have a real ability to start team fights. They want to be playing reactively, they want to be playing defensively. So with all of that in mind, if SK continue to push and Alliance can punish them, that's how they can regain control of this matchup. They don't really have a comp that can win through fighting, but they can through wave management and towers. If Alliance are able to play smart, move around, rotate effectively to push the objectives down, that's how they take control back in the game. They're just going to be super, super careful. So warding is going to be very important, and ensuring they combo their spells properly. Froggen, he's a little bit off to the side.
Oh, they're going to have to dive in and try and cover this one off. Svenskeren going to get caught out. He will go down. Now NYPH, teleport comes in. Wickd will join the party. He gets on there. Freddy is going to get locked up. The damage is on him. Pulverize still not used. He's going to come in. Helvert pulverize on towards them. Now we can see backing in towards them. Alliance trying their best to stay alive. It is a tricky fight for them. SK zoning out well, but it is Tabzz that finally gets in. A very tight exchange. Jesiz not able to get a lot of damage down though. And it's the double ADs that come out on top.
Very, very well focused from Alliance. Pay very careful attention to how disruptive that Glacial Fissure is. 60% slow, and it's also going to make life very difficult for SK to engage. And Jesiz, he's not rift walking into the middle of the fight. Even though Alliance are focusing Freddy down, the very good chain CC, the knockups, the slows, and Froggen and Tabzz were very safe throughout the entirety of that fight. Just using that long range and their ability to lay damage down very effectively.
We saw Shook. Shook was layering basically on top of Froggen, making sure he was the one that was going to get hit. He is getting hit this time away, safeguards away. Dragon up. Jungler taking a lot of damage, but the rest of Alliance are going to join this one. No teleport for Wickd. He comes around the side. SK start this one off. Good chompers, that's going to zone them out, and they may well get the Dragon before he manages to clear out. Wickd's going to come around the side. Dark Binding lands. They're going to go in towards the Dragon. He's going to get cleared out. Svenskeren smites that one. Wickd now in trouble. No ultimate available for him. He's so squishy with only a Trinity Force. Now the reset comes in. Svenskeren leaps on towards him. Froggen having to back away from this one. The rest of Alliance, they're rotating around the side. SK have cut them in half right now. And see, they're going to run towards them. Where are they going to go? Tabzz is running for his life. Shook's managed to find out. They're going to take down Jesiz. Now they're coming back. You see around the side there, the defense is on. Freddy getting tanked down. Tabzz has got a lot of damage, but the big rocket finally comes in. A Cathian surprise is not going to be enough to take them down. But look in the river. We can see NYPH now closing in towards nRated. Froggen is coming back into the fight. He fancies a bit of CandyPanda, and now he's going to put the damage back on towards him. You've got to feel, if he was involved in that fight, that could have gone massively in Alliance's favor.
Yeah, but it's such big mistakes. Alliance commit to a Dragon fight without having the Unbreakable Will or the Glacial Fissure. So they instantly lose Wickd in that fight. On the retreat, SK Gaming then make a very big mistake by splitting up their forces. Jesiz just gets, popped.
Ooh, it's a 4v3. NYPH is going to try and get away. Shook's going to get focused on Froggen. He's untouched to the side. He's getting free hits. Jumps in, pounces down, gets himself a double. Loops across. CandyPanda goes down. It's the triple. Comes across. Gets the quadra kill. Jesiz is going to be focused. He spoils the party. Gets himself a double himself. He can get a triple as well as he gets on towards Shook. There's a triple for Jesiz. Wow, this game is opening right up.
3 for 4, and it is just a matter of people overcommitting and staying involved in these fights. So if you go all the way back, Alliance start the Dragon fight without having very crucial team fight ultimates. So that makes their life very difficult. It then gets compounded by SK Gaming splitting up. Shook combo is a very nice play with the Dragon's Rage and Sonic Wave duo. But look at the rest. CandyPanda and NYPH, nRated rather, are not with Svenskeren and Freddy. So when they do rejoin the fight, Candy's now the one that's alone. And he tries to take on Froggen, who had that Infinity Edge static shift, gets good damage down. And all props to Froggen. Really, really good play, finishing off the low health members, thanks to some aggressive rocket jumping. But it does also mean SK Gaming, they were focusing NYPH and Shook. Nobody looked at Froggen. Nobody's looked to try to kill him, and you can't afford to do that when you're fighting those AD comps.
So, 10-9 overall. Quadra and a triple back-to-back. Back and forth action. Gold still very close. Kassadin now 4-1-4. That usually spells massive danger for the opposition. Alliance are 2-1 up in this game, and with an unusual team comp being produced in this potentially final game. It is match point set effectively for Alliance. Can they get into that finals, or will Jesiz be able to spoil the party on this Kassadin?
Well, if the team fights continue to be extended like they have been, double AD is going to be fantastic in those scenarios. Sven and Jesiz are the two that need to ensure they end quickly. Or they can get the damage down and let CandyPanda execute with his ultimate.
Freddy's going to sneak around the side. He's flanking in back down the side. That's why they're going to try and chase. Svenskeren wanted to land the slow. Didn't get it on target. Froggen rocket jumps his way across that middle embankment. and they get to safety. They're looking to lock out. Wickd's walking blindly straight into SK Gaming. No flash available, but he has got his ultimate. There he goes. Now, headbutts in towards it. Freddy going to be focused on. The rest of Alliance comes around. There's Nyph, lays down his Glacial Fissure. Is it going to be enough? Jesiz split off the side. He's going to go down. He'll be picked off as soon as he comes back out of it. It's a kill for Wickd. Now they catch on towards them. They're chasing on. This is a perfect setup for Alliance. They leap out towards it. CandyPanda going to get focused on. He will go down. The double AD comp is just shredding through the rest of SK Gaming. Svenskeren jumps away. No vision on him. Wickd's going to flash through. Now they're chasing towards him. Nyph is going to come around the side. Froggen was already taken down in this exchange. Couple more shots from Tabzz will be enough, and he gets himself the kill. nRated is the only man standing. And another very close engage. This time a 4-for-2 in favor of Alliance.
And very well played by Alliance. That once again, just layering that CC. The Brown Multi, the Void Ooze, it makes it very difficult for SK to be mobile and move around. That was the most impressive thing. It looked like SK were trying to catch Wickd, and the calls from Alliance were great. They instantly turned back around. So Baron's been stopped, and Jesiz fancies this fight.
Well, remember, Wickd hasn't got that ultimate available. He's going to get picked off here. Jesiz will get himself the kill. There's no way he's escaping this one. Tries to take down nRated in the path. Risky play from Alliance there. Teleport came out from Wickd as well to go on that Baron. They forgot. They took down Jesiz first, and he had teleport available as well.
Yeah, never say the B word. Baron is causing problems, rather, that's a better word, for both of these teams. And I much prefer Wicked's build this time round. He's gone tank after Trinity Force. Remember that Cogmore should be able to put some damage down from a long distance. Here comes Froggen as well, with the Bloodthirster, with the static shift.
It's going behind. He's going to land the Void Spikes. He's going to have to jump away though. Shook is still there. nRated's on next to no health, and again, they have to back away, but look at that. Static Shift doing wonders on SK as they're all grouped up. They're going to try and push them around. Glacial Fissure is back for Nyph if he needs it in a second. Now they're going to push them away. They could try and shove down the middle turret. SK are not in the healthiest. Instead, they're going to choose wisely to step away. See what Froggen's going to buy.
If Alliance can force SK to fight in the jungle, their team comp becomes even more powerful. Because of the fact that all of their spells are like needing to hit multiple players, in tight corridors, that makes it life so much easier. So for SK to do this, they've got jumps, they've got leaps, they've got the ability to come in from side lanes. I think they need to try and maybe flank and get around the sides of Alliance. Easy dragon for SK, but Alliance, they're starting a fight.
This game is going a mile a minute as Alliance, well, SK get themselves the dragon, but will they get out of it? The rocket comes out of CandyPanda, but to no avail. It's going to be Freddy that goes down quickly. Now CandyPanda's going to get chased. Froggen is going to flash on towards him. Static Shiv. Oh, Nyph doesn't quite land the shot, but look at that. By taking chunks out of his back, choppers go down. Stop that attack dead in its tracks. And Alliance simply get one kill for a dragon to SK.
Yeah, Alliance managed to punish SK Gaming for not having the full complement of players in the Dragon Pit. So Alliance instantly realized it, dive right in there. I didn't expect the aggression, and it worked out brilliantly. In the 5v4, pushed SK into full retreat, and they're going to take a tower as well.
Towers go down so quickly. Jesiz goes in, little bit too aggressive there. The rest of Alliance turn on towards him. Well, Wickd is not with this team, so they're going to try and pursue. And Nyph will get caught, slowed down. He's in trouble. Not too sure if he's going to save here. Shook comes in with a safeguard, but Dark Binding catches on Froggen, manages to rocket jump just before it happens. Svenskeren on next to no health, and everybody disengages. 15-12, just 32 minutes into this game.
So close. The one thing I do want to say, you see how long it takes for Alliance to actually kill members of SK, like the tanky guys, and even when they're on Jesiz. Yes, it takes 5, 6, 7 auto attacks. But if Jesiz can build up some more armor, if we see the likes of those Thornmails being built up, it's going to be so important for SK to survive and buy the time to get multiple spell reels off. Sven needs to get a couple of those Void Spikes. Jesiz needs to get a couple of the Null Spheres and Rift Walks up. And he can only do that once his tanks are tanky enough to survive a lot of hits.
This is a tough, close match. They can see CandyPanda down the bottom, actually, which is why Alliance are being so aggressive as they come here. Svenskeren actually coming in. They want to steal away this blue buff. Froggen's getting the damage down on towards it. They will catch it out. Now they jump in towards it. Svenskeren forced the leap away. nRated focused out here. They're going to get the damage down on towards him. He'll get stunned out. He'll go down. Soul Shackle. Oh, Jesiz! Sonya's hourglass used, but there's no way he's getting out of that one. He's picked off. It's a 2-for-0. CandyPanda finally joins the team, but Alliance have done the damage.
Second time in a row that Alliance punish SK for not having everyone around. CandyPanda was in the bottom lane, Alliance realized it, and they played super aggressively. Jungler is still available for SK Gaming. This is a 5-on-3, and they started off the Baron. With 2 AD carries and the amount of damage they have, Baron should be taken before SK can even get there. SK are not even making a move. They've got no vision of it, and they've completely given it up.
Yeah, they can't get in, they can't stop that Baron, and Alliance now break ahead, finally get a strong lead in this game. They clear out the minion waves, they've got themselves the Baron buff, and they have a double AD comp that will shred towers in seconds. Let's see how they continue to build. As you mentioned, this is, I would say, a ticking time bomb with the amount of armor that's possible to build up. You can see Freddy now with that full mail on him. But Alliance, they've got a lot of kills and a lot of gold and a lot of items on the 2 AD carries, which generally swings it in their favor.
I know, it's so difficult to read because in order for Alliance to win the fights, they do need time. They need to get lots and lots of auto attacks off, especially once armor and health become stacked, right?
You say that, but when Jesiz only goes down in 3 shots and there's 2 ADs firing at you,
very true.
that doesn't take too long.
The thing is, Jesiz needs to be jumping in along with Freddy and Sven.
Look, 1-2.
So the second one was less effective than the critical hit from the first shot. But yeah, the point is, if Alliance are able to right-click a single target, they will shred him instantly. SK need to group and they need to go in hard, fast, and together. And they're simply not doing that when Freddy is being forced away.
Freddy actually is taking a lot of damage as well. Alliance, they're going to continue pushing this one. Wave clear comes out from Jesiz, but they don't care. They're tanking down the damage. They're taking down the turrets. The double AD comp is just shredding this inhibitor turret. Shook goes incredibly deep on this one, way too deep in fact. nRated caught out. Freddy locked up and taken down. One more shot. They're not going to follow it through. Nyph is like, guys, anyone. Instead, it's going to be the turret down. The inhibitor will fall, and Alliance step away after victoriously basically plowing through SK's base.
Very well played. Despite the fact that Shook went super aggressive, it bought all the time that Alliance needed as a distraction. Because that's what we keep saying. In order for double ADs to kill, they need that time to get the auto attacks down, and Shook played the role he needed to. He kicked away the threat, allowed Alliance to get in, get the tower, get the inhib, and get out with very low costs.
Shook is 100% kill participation so far. 5, 3, 13. Nyph also been heavily involved in everything, but we shouldn't discount Wickd. He's kind of been the guy, the defensive linebacker. I'm not sure the exact terminology that you'd use in America, but basically he is blocking, the goalkeeper, the Tim Howard of the team, maybe you could say after the World Cup. But SK Gaming instead, they can't break through, they can't get on Froggen, they can't get on Tabzz, despite the fact Jesiz and Svenskeren can leap into the team. It's a massive risk because they're leaping into a pulverize.
Yeah, and the few times that they have tried it, the CC from the rest of the Alliance members has been enough to deal with the engage, has been enough to deal with SK. The thing that's also great about this composition is the fact that SK Gaming may not see double AD comps, definitely not ones like this, very often. So when you do see it, it's very difficult to play against because you have to theorize and strategize almost on the fly. Almost on the fly. How do we counter it? Straight up head-to-heads have not been working for SK. I think they need to try get around the side. I really think they need Sven and Jesiz to jump on an AD carry super quickly.
They're trying it.
And see if they can make it work.
Sven wants it. He's going to try and jump for it. But the problem is, when double AD turn on you, pretty squishy. At the moment, it seems that Alliance are quite happy to see this one through. Baron buff is still available to them. Oh, Svenskeren, there we go. Alliance swats him away. Wickd, as you've probably seen many times, that flies don't tend to do much to cows, and Alliance with Wickd are just tanking their way through this one.
Yeah, much stronger performance on Alistair this time around. I think the role that Wickd is playing is suiting the team. We do see that SK's minions have taken a turret, but there's super minions on the Nexus turrets. So this is going to work out great for Alliance. The moment somebody from SK backs, instant victory.
They're both falling, both those Nexus turrets. They're taken so low. There's the inner turret going down. Alliance pushing through. One Nexus turret will fall. CandyPanda comes around. Oh, he just about saves it. Just about. That's close though. And he's doing the job, but the rest of his team, they need him back at this tower.
If there was ever a signal to tell you that SK Gaming was flustered, to let that many super minions make it to your Nexus turrets at the risk of a team fight in an inner turret in the top lane is massive. We do see Wickd. He's going to be teleporting into this fight. They're going to continue the siege. There is a siege minion at the tower. And just look how quickly the team is doing damage from behind. This is the flank we talked about. We'll see if it works.
Last-ditch effort as well. Fredi finds on towards Tabzz. Has he got the damage? They leap towards him, but he's already flashed away. Look at that. The head put on there. Shook follows through. Svenskeren taking damage from range. Froggen leaps in, gets himself the kill on towards it. Shook's the one that picks it up. Wickd, he's taking all the damage, and Soul Shackles is going to ping off. He'll go down. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Make that a 2-for-1 in Alliance's favor as they push on through. There's super minions still clawing the way through the base, but Alliance, they're going to retreat.
You could not have hoped for a better knockback onto Fredi. Kicking him over the wall, splitting him away from any sort of backup from the rest of SK Gaming. It was perfect. Once again, Nyph throws down the ultimate for zoning. We see Wickd instantly trying to focus Jesiz and peeling away to CandyPanda. Nyph and Wickd, all they're doing is keeping the rest of the damage away from their AD carries. And that allowed Froggen basically solo to take Fredi down because Tabzz was still stuck in that top lane trying to push it down.
Inhibitor got taken down while that was all going on, so Alliance did sneak back in there. They now have themselves a 6,000 gold lead. One step away from the World Championships as SK valiantly hold off their base. They've got a big wave in the bottom, but that's not going to do a great deal. Nexus turrets, you can see, flattened. Nothing stopping Alliance storming into SK's base. Everybody goes back and buys, everybody returns, all gold spent, all pots stacked up, and Alliance are looking to make the killer move.
All they got to do is find the right time to jump in. With the amount of attack damage and the time that they can buy, they can even just sneak this Nexus away.
This is the big play. They have to make it. They want to catch out Froggen, but he's not going to fall for it.
SK are split. SK are split. If they don't recall from that tri-bush, they're going to run the risk of giving up a kill or two and then being taken out. But I don't think anyone knows. I mean, Sven cancelled the recall. That is so risky and so scary. If they'd been found, that would have been game. But they didn't, so it's not. And SK's got a tiny thread of life.
Baron spawns. Looks like Alliance are going to make their move from Dragon to Baron, or will they just think, you know what, it's not worth it, we don't need to risk it, we can just push straight in. No, they want it.
We'll see how this plays out. Froggen going super good. CandyPanda is on the side. SK split. Ooh. So this is going to allow Alliance a potential opening.
Wickd desperately. He saw visions, he saw gold, he saw a flash engage. Fredi goes into the team. nRated focused off. Fredi just being burnt down at the side there. Glacial Fisher shreds them apart. Jesiz now gets focused. Pulverized on towards Svenskeren. That's going to be Jesiz shredded down, and SK Gaming are falling away from this game. They are in danger of going out. It's Alliance that seem to be clawing the way into this one. nRated being chased. They don't need to. Just go straight to the base, Alliance. It is wide open for you. The double AD comp will push on through. Froggen still taking the Indian down. It's going to be Alliance, ladies and gentlemen, that will represent Europe at the World Championships. The super team has done it. All of the work back in October by Froggen and his crew have paid off. It's been a long time coming, I think it's safe to say, for Alliance. They worked hard, and honestly, we've got an epic final ahead of us between Alliance and Fnatic. It's what everybody expected, but my God, have these semi-finals proved something. The top scene in Europe is incredibly strong, and SK versus Roccat will be a fantastic game tomorrow.
A lot of questions raised this series for Alliance, and I think even more for the late game of SK when you watch it. But a great double AD composition. I think Alliance, they played that comp fantastically. It was bloody, it was chaotic, it was exciting. But the fights were almost always on Alliance's terms. They, barring one or two small mistakes in terms of being run down, they chained their CC effectively. They kept SK at arm's length and then just shot them to pieces.
We'll see how it works out for them, SK. While they may well be dejected right now, of course, they have a massively important match tomorrow ahead of them. Roccat themselves took Fnatic all the way. That's going to be a tight match for the final spot at World Championships. Of course, now we need to find out who is going to be the #1 and 2 seed as well, as Alliance and Fnatic play. And honestly, I couldn't call that game right now. Alliance maybe just showed their hand a little bit early. They obviously felt
so too.
They obviously had that in the bag. They had it in the pocket for a while. They knew if Maokai got selected, this is clearly what we're going to pull towards, or maybe just let Kassadin through. They obviously had that tactic worked out, and I don't think they probably wanted to use it yet, but they would force their hand. SK pushed them all the way.
Considering we've seen Cogmore bans.
Yes.
And allowing some of those super picks through, you know, letting the Kassadin, letting the Maokai, things like that, making you go, think about it, what do you want? It allowed Alliance to pull out a strategy that I think nobody was expecting. Very crucially, Fnatic need to step back and try to figure out what is the counter to that. Let's theorize you get a similar pick and ban strategy. How do you play against it? Because SK's engagers were left very, very wanting. I also want to say that SK Gaming, a team that has traditionally not done well in the laning phase, kept completely even with Alliance. So SK lifted their game, and Alliance were not really able to out 1v1 them, to outlane them. So that also might be quite telling for tomorrow's games, where Fnatic will be looking at it going, maybe they're a little weak. Maybe Alliance we're focusing on other sides of things outside of laning. Who knows?
It's been a long day of gaming for these teams as well.
Yep.
They've had to certainly go through the mill. 9 matches overall today, of course. Best of 5 going all the way in the first series. Probably the best of 5 we've seen at Gamescom.
In a long time. A really long time. I can't think of another European best of 5 that was as exciting or as interesting.
Yeah.
And this particular series was great for a whole plethora of other reasons. Because of the way the laning phase is played out, because of the double AD at the end of the series. But yeah, we've got 2 teams, Alliance and Fnatic. I think everyone expected them to win. They didn't deliver quite the way it was anticipated, but it did work.
Well, you can see it's fairly late here in Europe. I think we're closing in on 9 o'clock at night now. The actual event closed, I believe, probably about an hour ago. So everyone here is basically being kicked out. That's how it works out at Gamescom when you're at a trade fair. Everybody else has gone home, basically. It's just all hardcore League of Legends fans sticking around for that fantastic match. For now, though, let's hear from 2 victors. They're going to be with Shocks over on the stage.
Thank you very much, G-Man. I'm here with Froggen and Tabzz. You'll be making the trip to Worlds. You guys did it. A project a season long in the making, a year long in the making, and this is your first very big reward, Froggen. What are the first thoughts?
I'm just very happy we succeeded in doing it, especially after we had the very bad start in the spring. It's really good to be in the finals here.
Yeah, Tabzz, give me the lowdown of the year as well for you, because as he said, it wasn't the best start all the way in the beginning of the season, but you guys are doing well here.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best start. It was kind of disappointing for all of us, and we all had our doubts, but we worked hard, and in the end, now we're going to Korea, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Korea, you're being very ambitious there. Then tell me the road ahead, because I can imagine that there are a little bit of a question marks, because this was not an easy series. The road ahead going into Worlds, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work. We actually played this series really bad. Like, they outplayed us in rotations and stuff, but we managed to scratch the win anyway. And 3-1 might look like kind of easy on paper, but it was a really hard series.
Yeah, you guys were scrappy hanging in there, and then the double AD comp coming in the end, and I hear it wasn't really planned. Tabzz, elaborate.
Well, before the last game, we were like, okay, let's just do a strat with Kassadin, because he's been like banned every game. And we're like, we feel like we can abuse the fact that this champion is in Champion Select, because they will probably prioritize it for some reason, and then, okay, we just counter it.
Yeah, fantastic. It worked out very well. Closing out the win for you guys. You guys are going to Worlds, but on Sunday, the grand final here versus Fnatic, very heavily anticipated. Did you catch the series just before this?
Yes, we did.
And what did you think of that? What will it be in the final? Because I feel like you guys can both step it up.
Yeah, I think both teams can definitely step it up, but on the other hand, Rocket played really amazing too, so it will be a tough match, and we will have to prepare a lot for it.
How important would it be for you to be able to go on a stage on Sunday?
Well, we obviously want to win a lot, and especially because Fnatic have won their 3 last splits, it would be even better for us to actually win it. So
you got to break that streak.
Exactly.
Is there anything you want to say to the Alliance fans? Both of you, Tabzz, maybe first.
You want to go first?
You can both do it.
Right. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's really amazing to see all the support everywhere.
Well, yeah, what should I say? Yeah, I'm really happy that everyone supported us through like low and high, so even though we weren't doing too well in the spring.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys very much. Congratulations, you're going to Worlds, and we're going to go back to Demon and Quickshot for a look at what's coming up.
Thank you very much, Shocks. As Tabzz just pointed out, it was not good in the spring. They started out 0-4, the very beginnings of that team. Who would have thought now they follow and go through as potentially the #1 seed? We'll find out on Sunday. So looking ahead to the weekend, our first series will be taking place on Saturday. That is going to be SK Gaming and Rockout that will be facing each other in the 3rd place match, where of course the winning team will get the last European spot at Worlds.
Yeah, and on Sunday, it is the European LCS Semifinals as Alliance take on Fnatic. And while both of these teams will be going to the 2014 World Championship, only one team will head there as the #1 seed from Europe. Very importantly, Fnatic will be looking to take their 4th consecutive LCS title. Alliance will be looking to dethrone them. And I am very excited about watching that game.
Yeah, massively important as well, because the #1 seed means you avoid the #1 North American, Korean, and Chinese seeds. So something that everybody absolutely will want. So the 3rd matches, of course, will be kicking off on Saturday. That is tomorrow if you're in Europe. It's at 3 p.m. Central European Summertime. That is 6 a.m. Pacific. I expect to see you guys up bright and early for that one. That does it for us, of course, today from Gamecom. We'd like to give a special thank you to Impaler for joining us on the analyst desk for this match. And on behalf of myself, Quickshot, Joe, Deficio, Shocks, and the entire broadcasting crew, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.
Yellow start falling low. Can they finish him off? Jankos dives in. It's overpowered. Gets the kill. Reckless will fall as well.
Trying to recall, that's not going to happen here. You have to take the fight.
Or you just see what the ball. The ulti coming in. Overpowered also full.
There we go. Main time, boys.
Wild growth will be using it. Reckless now in position. He's blown to pieces. That's surely it here for Rockout. It's a double kill coming up for Selva. He's still at full HP. After all this has happened on the top side, Peke goes down. He's all down to the final game of the day. That's actually going offensive there. On to Peke. Shockwave in the back though. Selva goes low. There he's young. They get the 2 kills. But Fnatic will be the first European team to book their place at Worlds.
We are heading into the 2nd series where Alliance will square off against SK Gaming. Jesiz goes in, catches on towards Froggen. He gets assassinated. Jesiz, Svenskeren gets the lead. Shug gets taken down. Nyph gonna get dropped as well. Leaps on Svenskeren. He gets the reset, gets the double. Freddy low though. He's gonna get dropped out here. Can Alliance pick up some kills? It's a 1-for-1 trade. Jesiz hooked in. He goes down into double. Coming in for Tabzz. Gets another. Gets on the triple. He's untouched on the side. He's getting 3 hits. Jumps in, pounces down, gets himself a double. Looks across. CandyPanda goes down. It's the triple. Goes across. Gets the